Be sure to share and join, tag a friend. Certainly going to be a very busy, I would say, next 4 or 5 hours or so across the area, really across the Ohio Valley in general, of course, across the Indianapolis metro area. But just going to be a busy evening. And I think one that we all should be taking very seriously, especially given the activity that's going on right now off to our west in parts of Illinois and Missouri. I'm going to turn this around so you all can see the current radar across the area. Let me turn this here. There we go. So here's a look at the current radar right now. We do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect near Tipton, near Frankfort. These are for, if we click on these, for large hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Same thing here. This storm here, just east of Frankfort, is for radar indicated 2.5-inch diameter hail. And so certainly here, guys, I think hail, as we mentioned in the previous update, is going to be a major threat with these storms. We've also had a tornado warning. Let's go up here to the north and to the east. This is just east of Warren, Indiana, near Bluffton here. You can see where the tornado warning is right now. Also, the storm could contain 1.5-inch diameter hail. And so these storms, really any storm at this point that fires off, is going to be capable of developing into a severe thunderstorm. Large hail certainly possible, and then the tornado threat, I think, probably just increases a little bit as we work over the next couple of hours. So let me zoom this out. Let me give you all a full view. I do want to go further off to the west here for a second, because this activity will continue to push off to the east towards our area over the next couple of hours. We have a tornado warning right now near Taylorville, Illinois, just southeast of Springfield, Illinois. We had a tornado warning in the St. Louis metro area. That has now passed off to the east. Another tornado warning just southeast of St. Louis. If we look here and we can turn on our rotation tracks to give you an idea of the rotation in these storms, you can see that right there. We can also show you this for Indiana as well. You can see the storm that's tornado warned and the rotation track there. Now, I wouldn't say it's crazy strong at this point, but I do think that given this rotation track that you see here, certainly worth having the tornado warning on that. Let me go back to the current radar. Let me look at the hail tracks right now. So hail tracks with this storm right now that is under the tornado warning. Let me turn off the warnings real quick just so we can click around on this. 1 inch in diameter, 1.5 inches in diameter, certainly possible. We go down here towards the Frankfurt storm. I think if anything, this could be a little bit underdone. 1.5 inches, 2 inches in diameter with this hail. When we go out to the west, look at this storm here. And again, hail of this size is certainly on the table with activity that moves into central Indiana as well over the next couple of hours. This particular storm here, that's near Edwardsville, just east of St. Louis, click around. It's capable of producing 3-inch plus diameter hail. The tornado watch is for the potential for, again, a couple of tornadoes, but also for tennis ball sized hail. And I think hail is just as big of a threat, if not a bigger threat, than tornadoes with this system. Let me turn the warnings back on so you all can see that. And then I'll try to go through and answer a couple of questions that we have on the live stream. And we'll probably, guys, just so you all know, we will probably hop on, talk about some of these storms, hop back off as more storms pop up throughout the evening and you start to get more tornado warning storms in a little bit more of a widespread fashion. So we'll kind of be here throughout the night to provide you all with updates. If you're looking for specific timing for your precise location, I would highly recommend downloading our Clarity platform. You can go to bamwx.com and click the sign up link. We've got a deal going on right now, 40% off for the starter subscription. That's as low as $18 a month, $180 a year if you want to include it all the way through next winter. Would highly recommend that if you're looking for specifics for your location, because I'm not going to be able to touch on every single location here as much as I would like to. So I'm going to answer some questions here real quick, guys. Do you see the storms weakening at all as they come into central Indiana? No, in fact, I think that as they work into central Indiana, they probably intensify here as we work closer to, it's 6:15 right now, closer to 7, 8, 9 o'clock or so. And in fact, I can show you all a future radar loop to show you this. This is as we work towards about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I would say storm activity at this point anywhere from Effingham all the way through just north of Indianapolis to Lima, Ohio, Marion, Ohio. Any of these storms capable of producing severe weather at this time. So let me go to YouTube as well. I just want to see if we have any comments there real quick. Pull this up. Give me 1 second. Live here. All right. Okay. All right. So let's see. I don't see any comments on YouTube right now, but we'll keep an eye on that too. Okay, so still think it's over around 10 p.m. for Indy. I don't think it's probably quite over yet. I think probably the most severe activity is to your south at this time. Let me go back a couple of frames. This is by about 10. Yeah, I think after 10, better severe threats will be a little bit further southeast, but I don't think you're necessarily done with storm activity. I think the best threat to your southeast, but maybe not completely cleared out by that time. Do you know if there's any chance Marion County will get hit with a tornado? It's not another question. No way to know exactly where a tornado could drop in these situations, but I do think that there is the potential, really anywhere across central Indiana, that there could be a tornado potential. So keep that in mind. Front is through Battleground. Yep, main storms at this point kind of firing off southeast of Lafayette. Something to keep in mind there. It doesn't mean that you can't get additional storms, but I do think the best severe weather threat is to the southeast of Lafayette at this time. If we go back over here, let's take a look at some of the activity. And in fact, let's go to the wide zoom because we've got storms. We have severe storms from Oklahoma, actually even northern Texas here, all the way up through Missouri. You can see all of these warnings here, tornado warning right there southeast of St. Louis, all the way up into Indiana. And so this is a pretty widespread severe weather outbreak. We've had numerous tornado warnings already at this point. And again, we are just now getting started in the Indianapolis metro area. We have several more hours to go with this. All right, so let's see. Milton, Kentucky was hit by a tornado on 36. Yeah, that storm that went through Madison, Indiana and dropped a tornado there, it continued on into northern Kentucky. And I think it's a good example of what's possible given the setup that we're dealing with right now. Not all storms will be like that. Don't get me wrong here. Not everybody is going to see very large hail and tornadoes, but these storms are going to be capable of producing it as we work over the next couple of hours. I'm going to go over here to the velocity real quick because I want to look at this tornado warned storm. And guys, what you're going to notice here, look at the hook on this. The hook on this storm here, and this is just south of Bluffton, Indiana right now. Look at the hook on the storm. This was at about 6:11, so about 10 minutes ago. You can very clearly see the rotation here. And let me see if I can show you the velocity on the right too. So what you're seeing here, guys, see the green and the red right next to each other? That's basically indicating rotation on the radar, and that's how we can issue these tornado warnings. Go back over here for a second. Guys, when you see this hook, a couple of things are going to happen. Number one, you have a pretty clear hail core to the north, probably some very large hail ongoing right now. And I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the city right, but Poneto, and that's just north of Montpelier and just south of Bluffton, Indiana. So you can see the hook there. Let me go forward a couple of frames. If anything, the hail signature is just increasing. And let me see if there's, and again, let me move this over. Look at this right here. I'm going to draw with my drawing tool. You can see the rotation. See the greens, that's moving towards the radar. Red's moving away from the radar. Very clear rotation here with this storm. All right. Outside at La Crosse and in Westfield, should we evacuate the stadium now? Let's see here. Westfield, you think you're okay right now, but there is some storms that are starting to develop out to your west. Let me go back to the clarity radar here to give you all a better picture. But you can see storms are developing. If you're not evacuating yet, I would be sure to have a plan to do that here in the next hour, half an hour or so. But right now the storms are to your north. Anything for Terre Haute tonight? Yes, I think Terre Haute is certainly in the mix for severe storms. fact,
maybe flash flooding.
Yeah, flash flooding too, guys. Matt Griffin here in the office, kind of sending out updates to clients on clarity. We talked about hail. We talked about tornado. Again, wind possible as well. Look at the storms as they move across the Terre Haute area. This is 8, 9 o'clock. Note how they are generally moving west to east, and you're dealing with 3-4 hours of heavy rain here. When that tends to happen, you can get some flash flooding potential. And so Terre Haute, Bloomington, Columbus, Franklin, Greenwood, all those areas, I think flash flood threat is there. Highest tornado threat, probably kind of along and north of a line from Bloomington to Columbus, but it's not impossible further south as well. Is Whiteland under a tornado watch? Yes, Whiteland is under a tornado watch. Let's go back to the wide zoom here, guys. Turn on our watch. We have this entire area that you see from Missouri, Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. All of these areas are under a tornado watch. Tornado warnings right now, go back. Tornado warning issued just south of Bluffton, Indiana. And we have tornado warnings out to the west. Taylorville, Illinois, down towards, let's see here, Redbud, Illinois. And then we've got numerous severe thunderstorm warnings in between. And so, again, tornado watch in effect that goes through midnight tonight. I think the highest threat is from now through about 10 or 11 o'clock, but that watch will go through about midnight tonight. Muncie, guys, you need to be on the lookout for these storms that are just southeast of Kokomo right now. These storms are going to continue to fire off here over the next hour or so. And you can see, actually, Crawfordsville, Lebanon, these storms are probably the ones to watch from Muncie here. Crawfordsville, you're actually getting storms right now. And in fact, Crawfordsville, you can see right now, not a severe thunderstorm warning, but you are about to be under this strong storm. Plainfield, you're at risk, guys. Again, anywhere that's in this red shaded area is at risk for strong to severe storms. Overlaid here is the simulated radar at 8, 9. This is as we work towards 11, midnight. Then it kind of pushes off to the south and to the east. Dayton under the tornado watch as storms fire. I think probably your highest threat is a little bit later. I think you're maybe more like 9, 10, 11 o'clock or so. But you're certainly under the risk, as is Columbus, Ohio, as well. So, guys, I'm not going to be able to answer for every specific location. Do you think a lot of people will lose power? It's not impossible, but I think hail is probably the biggest threat here. Golf ball-sized hail in Russiaville, Indiana. Thank you for the report. I believe there's a cap along and south of I-70. No, there's not a cap right now. Don't believe that there's a cap in place. I don't think that's going to be an issue in this particular situation.
Not at all.
So, in fact, all the sunshine that you had today, and in fact, still see the sun peeking out here, that is ultimately going to allow these storms to thrive in this environment.
Storms to the west won't care about the cap.
So, for sure. Let me go back to the current radar. New tornado warning right now. That is just east of Taylorville, just west of Shelbyville, Illinois, south of Decatur. And again, I want to keep an eye on these storms because you can see they're moving east. And so these are ones to watch along the I-70 corridor here over the next couple of hours. All right. Let me zoom this back out for you all. Again, I'm trying to get to as many. Is IU going to win? I don't know. John, IU game prediction?
They're going to lose.
Oh, Matt.
Overtime.
Overtime? Wow. Okay. Matt's wife is a Purdue fan, so I think he's a little biased. Tyler went to Purdue. We have a mix. We've got 3 IU guys in the office right now. A Purdue guy and a Chirp Ball State guy. So, okay, guys. No sun in Columbus, but it has been out some now. Yeah, guys. The clouds at this point are kind of starting to move back in. It doesn't matter at this point, though. I think at this point, in terms of clouds versus sun, the damage has already been done. We had enough sunshine earlier that it's going to help in terms of keeping these storms firing off. Ooh, IU's winning tonight. I like that. Okay. So, guys, again, I want to continue to emphasize, I'd like to get to every question. But if you'd like more information, you can go to bamwx.com. Team is sending out more detailed updates in terms of specific timing, specific impacts, tracking tornadoes that are on the ground if it comes to that. We'll be on here as well to kind of walk you through any potential widespread severe weather scenarios, especially tornadoes. But if you're looking for specifics for your exact location, we do have the Clarity platform. And again, you can go to bamwx.com, hit the sign up button. We do have a 40% off deal with the coupon STARTER40 right now through the end of the day. If a tornado touches down in Illinois, does that make the storm less likely to set down another tornado further east? Nope, not necessarily. Can the storms in Illinois weaken before getting to Indy? I don't really think so, Matt. I mean, do you see anything that would indicate that these are going to weaken as they push east?
No, I mean, the only risk is they become more organized and become more widespread. I mean, if anything.
Yeah, guys, I do not think that these storms are going to weaken as they approach Indiana. I think if anything, maybe we just need to watch. Do they kind of converge a little bit on each other? I don't know what that was, but we've got I'm not sure. Anyway, just loud noise in the office. Nothing to be alarmed about. But yeah, I think if anything, it would just be that maybe they converge into a bigger hail threat. But I think that tornadoes are still on the table. Timing for Franklin, you're probably 7:30 to 10 o'clock. Franklin points down to the south of Columbus. Let me go back to the simulated radar here. In general, you're looking for the best severe weather threat from now through about 10 o'clock, maybe 10:30. And so this is the latest simulated radar. In fact, I'm going to refresh it here, see if we have any new data to come in. Nope, no new data just yet. But I think if anything, this could be a touch slow. You can see here, it's trying to get here around 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I think that it could potentially be a little bit earlier than that for Greenwood, Franklin. But yeah, if you're down in Columbus, Bloomington, you're probably looking at about 9:30 or 10 o'clock. So, all right, guys, I'm going to hop off here for a few. Let me go back to the current radar. You can see where the warnings are right now. Again, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, Kokomo, Frankfurt, Marion here. Let me go to the latest one. And let me loop this for you. You can see how these storms are building right now. They're intensifying with time. That is going to continue, and eventually these will sag further south into the Indianapolis metro area. So we're going to take a little break before they start to do that, and we will hop back on here in the next hour or so with more specific details as we start to put more warnings out. We will be posting warnings on our Facebook and on our Twitter page. If you have any more questions between now and then, again, highly would recommend our Clarity platform where our meteorologists are sending updates out consistently throughout the night. Guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, we will be back on. Be sure to share this, tag a friend, and be on the lookout for another stream later this evening. Thanks, guys.